All right, Shalom. First thing and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to 144,000 and the hopeful elect, Shalom Barakathum. And I'm going to title this, Is This the Man That Made the Kingdom to Tremble? As a matter of fact, I'm going to go straight to the precept there. Isaiah 14. All right. And yeah, I'm going to start at verse 12 because this sets the backdrop of the weak and flaccid leadership that is in the earth. And while the scriptures say, you know, well, I'll get that as well too. There's a few precepts going along in my mind, but Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Okay. Now, when people see this word Lucifer in the scriptures, they automatically think about, you know, a spiritual entity, all red with a tail and a pitchfork. All right, but really, Lucifer, the etymological meaning the true meaning of it, if you go into the etymology, it really just deals with the word light. Okay, light bearer, light bringer. Okay. And that's ultimately what Yahweh Shai is known as. Okay, so people confuse that with the precept in Revelation where it says he's the bright morning star with Lucifer. You know, you got bug outs like Billy Carson and various other people trying to draw parallels. But what is Isaiah doing here? He's being facetious. He's being sarcastic, if you will, because Esau esteems himself as what? The light of the world. He has the wisdom. All right, and he's saying, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? You know, he's asking, how did you fall? If you're such a great light bringer, how did you fall? And what I'm going to explain to you is that the reason he fell is because he always belonged at the bottom. He was always base. The Lord elevated him. Okay, the Lord gave his forefather Esau a promise that he would get the fatness of the earth. Okay, and that's why he was ruling over your ass. Okay. This weak man that can't make good decisions. He can't help but do wickedness. Even when things are good and he's up, he's still got to bring something else down, because the scriptures say, what goes with these people? Even when things are up, he's got to figure out a way to bring somebody else down. Let me see, where is it in Psalms? Psalms maybe 21. Hold on. Let me find it. Forgive me. Bear with me. I'm going on the fly with these precepts here. I know it's in Psalms. Keep it. Yeah, I can't find it, but it speaks about the wicked lose sleep until, or they cannot sleep until they've done some wickedness. Roughly paraphrasing. I thought it was in Psalms 14, but brother may be able to find that precept faster than I am. Yeah, Salakia. But that's basically what this person is, who our enemy is. He's a person that can't go to bed unless he's done some wickedness. This is why, you know, America's economy is ever growing, but it's not real. It's really just people like the feeling of growth, and that's why, you know, the economy just inflate and inflate and inflate instead of having natural cycles of inflation and deflation. They just let it go up and up and up and up, and then boom, it crashes. And that's why you have these crashes, because crashes are just corrections, okay? And you should be correcting along the way. I mean, you should have upturns and downturns. That way you don't let it build all the way up and then it dumps on somebody's head, you know, and then lives are lost pretty much, you know. That's the spirit of this place. That's who this guy is. And that's why the Lord deals with him as he deals with him, man. Going back to Isaiah 14, okay? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? All right? And you should know exactly who we're talking about. It says here in this headline, Biden hails ISIS victory in Syria as fundamental act of justice. All right? And now they're doing the same play all over again. They really don't switch it up because people look at this guy as God, as a power. All right. Now they're slowly coming to the realization. Well, they have come to the realization that he's not that, and they're starting to see him for what he really is. And once you get a look at who he really is, he can't hide it, or he can't have this illusion of what he looks like to you. Then guess what? His true nature is going to come out. Okay. Once Jake, so-called blacks, Native Americans, so-called Latinos, realize without a shadow of a doubt that he's the enemy, okay, watch how he treats you. What you have is the benefit of being nice and polite because he knows you don't know who he is, but now that's being discovered. We're in the time where he's being discovered, okay? And so you can ask, well, how can such a base man get that high? I'll get that in a second. But let's finish verse 13. It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Okay, so this is an individual ruling in the area known as the north. Now, what is the north? And you hear about that various times throughout the scriptures. For instance, Jeremiah. Okay, the people in the north are this world's hegemony, okay, that was made by the Treaty of Rome, okay, which spawned out of that the EU, NATO, etc., various global organizations, okay. That's the north, and that's who rules over us, man, you know. And what nation of people does that, you know? And it says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. And the Lord allowed him to do this. All right. You have to realize when the Lord keeps his word. When he promised, you know, Esau the fatness of the earth, the Lord keeps that oath, man. Isaac blessed him. You know, when Esau was crying, you know, do you have only one blessing? You know, crying because he sold his birthright. Well, the Lord allowed him to have a birthright, and what that really serves as an example of how not to rule. We're finding out after partaking of that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. We're finding out the evil right now, and in the kingdom, we will force the earth to show that we will force the earth on how to rule righteously and what good rulership looks like. You know. That's the dynamic that the Lord set up. The scriptures say, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So it was always set up through the Spirit for this guy to rule. And so when you look at him and how he's basically, you know, flaccid and inept, you know, he has very self-destructive ideologies. Okay, he has very low discipline. Okay, he has no prudence, and the wisdom that he does show, it's in what arena? The sword, weaponizing things, and that's how he rules. Okay, the scriptures call him the hammer of the earth for the reason, because that's how he rules. He doesn't rule through love, through the wisdom of the scriptures. Okay, You have to contrast this kingdom with King Solomon's kingdom that we had for 40 years. How did he rule? Did he have the other nations physically in subjection? Yes. Through the works of his father David, King David, he did. But how did he rule? Through peace. He had treaties with these other nations, so much so that they were coming to him for what? Wisdom, understanding. You know? That's how a righteous man would rule. But what do we have here? You know, we have threats, we have intimidation, we have a ruler that's ruling out of scarcity, man. We have a man with the most, on paper, nukes than any other country, but he's telling other people they can't have them. You know? So he's a hypocrite on top of that. You know? But the Lord set this up. It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Now, when you look at a photo of Joe Biden, okay, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about, and I'll put it in the thumbnail. All right, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about how this guy is absolutely, it had to be of the Lord that he got in positions of power. There's no way he took out all of Gad without Yahweh Shimon Yahweh with him, because Gad was going off. All right, the scriptures explain about it wasn't because the other nations were better than us, it's because we went off. You know, we disobeyed our power. Okay? So the Lord did what? He made Assyria the rod to correct us, man. You know, that's what happened. All right? But when the scriptures say, I'm gonna read it in the NLT verse 16, everyone there will stare at you and ask, can this be the one who shook the earth and made the kingdoms of the world tremble? All right? When they look narrowly, that's talking about they squint through their eyes like is this guy? Like, yes, absolutely. Let me go to Daniel 4, verse 17. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. All right? And the world does not realize that. They think that they won because they had enough charisma to get a bunch of votes. They think that they won because they successfully, you know, sacked a city or took over some land. And they think that their glory is within them, but it's not. Okay, the Most High determines who rules what. And all of these landmarks that got removed by you know, the years of imperialism and no disregard for land or people's sovereignty, that's all going to be corrected. Okay, the Lord allowed these things to happen. He suffered these things to happen, but the latter end is that Israel will rule, okay, in order, in perfect peace. Okay, you know, the scripture said there's not going to be any more wars when we get in there. All right, and when you know what we're going to become, then you'll understand why there won't be any more wars, because that the entire earth won't be able to deal with a single Israelite man physically. Okay, because our birthright is Godship, man. We're going to be gods. That's the promise to the Israelites. Okay, and it says, I'm going to read that again, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. So the Lord can give it to whoever he wants, and setteth up over it the basis of men. All right? And who are the basis of men? All right? They're talking about heathen, but namely in this case, we're talking about Esau, even the lowest of the heathen. Okay, so he let the lowest of the heathen, you know, basically get global power, man. Esau's got the power to destroy everything, you know, technically, but he doesn't really have it because the Most High determines the will of people. Only the Most High's will gets done, man. Only the Most High's will gets enacted in the earth. Okay, your will may sometime align with the Most High, but his will always gets done. That's why it's just better not fight and get with the program, man. You know, that's how the Lord rules, man. Okay, I brought this out a lot lately. Sirach 10:1, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. And the judge of the people is himself, and so are his officers. What manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. All right. An unwise king destroyeth his people, and that's exactly what we see, and that's why they're crying out. But the prudence of them which are in authority shall be, but the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. All right. And so, verse 4, main point, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. Just like I said, the power of the earth is in the hands of the Lord, man. This is why we put faith in what? Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, which is the Father in the name of his Son. All right, who gave the birthright, the keys to the kingdom, the earth, to us. Okay, Lord willing, we be of the first resurrection to inherit it and not suffer death, because death is coming on a massive global scale. Death is coming to this place because the Lord is angry, because the unfit ruler is ruling. Okay, and the Lord set up the unfit ruler to rule, so for the sake of the story, so he can be corrected on public display, okay, for all the world to see, and then set up the real appropriate leaders. Okay, it says the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. All right, now this goes back to a precept in Proverbs that we mainly know by heart, Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Okay, and so that's exactly what we're seeing. You had a little bit of comfort for a little bit, maybe a generation or two, and then everything started getting more expensive. The women started getting out of order. You know, the health started to decline. You know, disease and pestilences started to fester. Okay, and now you have mental atrophy, meaning you don't have the ability to think for yourself. You don't have the ability to have critical thinking, because he shamed you out of it, and then he's distracted the hell out of you to go away from it. Okay, one way he shamed you is what, calling you conspiracy theories. You don't agree with the guy on television with a tie and a suit on, then guess what? You're outside of the image, you know. But that's what this all boils down to: the image of the beast being blemished. All right, people getting wind of it, and now he's gonna force you to bow to it. That's what's coming. You know, people are seeing this guy for who he really is, and now the Lord is getting ready to show who his true people are. Okay. So I'll end it there, man. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Bahashim Rachak Shalom.